From Kutayas, we travel about 100 miles to Tbilbuli, an important industrial town of Georgia. Although many commodities are produced here, coal mining and the quarrying of limestone form the most important. These mountains have always held huge deposits of valuable coal, but until this new plan was put into effect, and American engineers brought here by the Soviet government, very inefficient methods were used and very little coal produced. Now they follow rich coal veins deep into the mountain's depths. There is a veritable network of tracks that have been laid just to transport the coal from the deep mines to the modern crushers, washers, and sorters. When you consider the vast increase in production of these methods over the old, it is easy to realize what an improvement has been made. Workers used to hack at the mountainsides with picks and shovels, using manpower instead of machinery. In the place of powered equipment, they used the mountain streams to turn the wheels. What a change in scenery there is as we leave the jagged mountain peaks that hold only a life of toil for their people and the lovely corner of the coastline of the Black Sea where we now travel. Gagri in the lowlands is closely embraced by the mountains and sheltered by them. Only the south and southwest winds can reach this rolling country, giving it the warmest climate on the whole seacoast. When we see on every hand such beautiful landscape pictures, dotted with poplars and pines and palms, and with huge, knotty, twisted trees, almost as old as the mountains themselves, it is easy to believe in the old legend that the natives love to tell, the legend that places the Garden of Eden not in the valley of Mesopotamia, but here in the Caucasus, on the shores of the Black Sea. Women workers find a welcome in a neighboring convent during their rest hours. Here in the almost subtropical climate and the abundant sunshine, the most fragrant of all tobacco growers. This is Turkish tobacco. The leaves are smaller than our American tobacco, and each leaf is hand-picked and then cured in the open sun. Over 90% of all tobaccos grown here are imported for use by American manufacturers. All around the Black Sea, agriculture flourishes, and all kinds of methods are used, some as old as they are. Goat raising on the slopes is one of their chief occupations. Grazing is plentiful, and they're valuable for their milk and their hides and their meat. On this trip along the coast of the Black Sea, we were very fortunate. We are soon to come upon a scene that could happen only once in a lifetime. The Ajarian women of the Batum section are largely of Turkish descent and of the Mohammedan faith, and they have lived for centuries, cramped by old family traditions. While many have torn themselves loose, largely through the efforts of the Ajarian Women's Club, whose activities have been ceaseless, today we are to pass a celebration of the unveiling of many more women, a celebration to further the emancipation of heavily veiled but beautiful Ajarian girls. On our arrival, we find a great gathering thrillingly addressed by the commissaire of the People's Council. Other leaders tell these girls that their custom is ancient, that it was conceived when man's fund of knowledge was limited. Now is the time to uncover the face, to lift those black heavy veils, to enjoy all the new culture and education that is the right of every citizen. Look at those beautiful faces. Here are the women of the East unveiled, for years in darkness, now in light, out of ignorance and superstition and into the new spirit of freedom. After the unveiling, we lingered to watch the joyous festivities. This was a great day, a glorious day, feasting, singing, and dancing. Are a natural people. It is with memories of the eternal snow-capped mountains, the rolling plains and the sheltered seashore that we leave the Atjar and board a coastwide steamer that is to bring us to our next Russian port, a Black Sea paradise, the Crimea. The ambition of most visitors when they arrive at Yalta is to climb or drive to the summit of Aipetri. From here you get a multicolored bird's eye view of the splendid Crimean vineyards, of jagged cliffs and ancient fortresses, surrounded by cypress, magnolia, palm, and olive trees, and alluring footpaths running down to the sea. From this vantage point on a clear day, you can see the south shore of the Black Sea and even the contours of Asia Minor. Former palaces built by the czars, the nobles, and the wealthy merchants are still places of magnificent beauty. Today in Litvadia, the late czar's palace is a sanatorium. Every villa in this vacation land has its quota of guests the year round and from all corners of the Soviet Union. This palatial fortress was built for the Grand Duke Dmitri. The beautiful white increment stone glistens like a jewel. The setting is a huge park, cut through by picturesque ravines and guarded by junipers covered with pampas grass. We approach now the former home of the Grand Duke Nikolai Nikolaevich at Gaspra. Look at the beauty of this magnificent landscape garden. Its winding paths and its creeping vines arching over most of the walls and completely surrounded by superb natural parks. In these wonder spots of beauty, we also find the Russian adaptation of American recreations, handball, tennis, and croquet being enjoyed by the many who spend their vacation here. Passing Cape Ai Todor on our way to Alupka, we involuntarily catch our breath. We see one of the much talked of sights of Russia called Swallow's Nest. It's a villa that literally overhangs the waves on the top of an abrupt cliff. Two things appeal to us: the beauty of the buildings and the boldness of the builders. It is a castle that nestles on an ancient stone like a swallow on its nest. This and the fact that thousands of swallows actually do make their homes here gives it its name.